Hello and welcome to Business Standard Views of the Week. How should policymakers respond to the economic fallout of the second COVID wave? Is the NYT right in estimating that India is undercounting COVID deaths by the millions? What can the government do to fix the vaccine shortage? Do the new IT rules violate your privacy? Subscribe to Business Standard and read this week's top opinion pieces to find out. We start with a two-part series that provides a policy prescription amid COVID-induced uncertainty. How big will the economic hit from the second COVID wave be? How fast will the economic rebound be this time around? Which is more effective, monetary policy or fiscal policy in these times of heightened uncertainty? Answering these questions, Sajid Chinoy, the chief India economist at JP Morgan, explains what the center and states should do to recalibrate their strategy and how policymakers could get the fiscal monetary mix right. On the topic of COVID's impact, the New York Times report estimating the real number of COVID deaths in India, especially in the catastrophic second wave, has thrown up shocking numbers. The worst scenario estimated by the report presumes 26 cases missed for each tested and a fatality rate of 0.6%. The total death number then comes to 4.2 million, exactly 14 times what India has reported. Stating that there is definitely an undercount of COVID deaths in India, Shekhar Gupta weighs in on whether an undercount at such a mass scale is possible. Next, we have two pieces that reveal the major economic hurdles facing India beyond the second wave. After every big crisis in the last 2 decades, whether it was the slowdown of the early 2000s, the global financial crisis of 2008-9, or the demonetization debacle of 2016, demand for everything from cars to colas had sprung back with a vengeance. The experience of past crises is that things quickly come back squarely where they were pre-crisis, and often for the better. However, things might play out differently this time around. In his latest column, Shailesh Dobal argues that there are reasons to be less optimistic because the pandemic and its aftermath have upended the edifice of consumption like never before. Staying on with the theme of economic recovery and the hurdles involved, should one expect a return to rapid economic growth, or is the country headed for a medium-term disappointment? Will India's trajectory resemble that of underperforming Latin American economies, or of East Asia with its rapid growth rates? T.N. Menon answers these questions in his latest column and reveals how the country can avoid being hit by the double whammy of great inequality and poor intergeneration mobility. Next, we look at a Business Standard editorial piece dealing with the other crucial shortage. Other than that of vaccines, the shortage of transparency. It is clear that there is a vaccine shortage in the country. What with the frequent tweaks to the interval between the 2 Covishield shots and several states stalling the vaccine for the 18 to 44-year-olds, the population most at risk because it is more mobile, to concentrate on second jabs for the 45-plus group. The government's actions so far haven't been helpful for the millions of Indians who have been trying to get vaccinated for weeks. Business Standard explains what the government needs to do to help Indians plan their own vaccine schedules without extreme anxiety. On the topic of vaccine shortage, the best that India has done on the vaccination front, that too in peaceful and non-pandemic type conditions, is to reach about 50 million persons and vaccinate them each year. To combat COVID, the estimate is that about 950 million Indians above the age of 18 will need 2 shots. So that means administering 1.90 billion doses of the vaccine. Arguing that it's not too late even now, K.P. Krishnan suggests in his latest column what the government could do to roll out vaccination rapidly while addressing market failure and potential state failure. Moving on to the world of business. Why are Indian promoters like Kapil Wadhwan and Manoj Gaur trying to derail the insolvency resolution process of their companies? Why are they making last-minute bids? If these promoters have the financial means to repay loans running into thousands of crores, why didn't they do so much earlier? Shamal Majumdar answers these questions and reveals the surprising games that such promoters try to play. We round up this week's BS Views with an incisive editorial on privacy and the new IT rules. WhatsApp has challenged the government's new social media intermediary rules in the Delhi High Court, arguing that they are unconstitutional and violate privacy. The government, for its part, has been quick to clarify that it has no intention to violate the right to privacy. Who's on the right side of this argument? Should the government force service providers to identify the first originator of information in posts? Business Standard answers these questions and suggests what the government can do to bridge the trust deficit. Find the links to these columns and editorials in the video description below. For more insights and analyses in the world of business, finance, and politics, subscribe to this channel and click on the bell icon.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.